question I get asked a lot is, what is the ideal sleeping position? Since more and more research and data is coming out about how important deep, restful sleep is to our hormone systems, our brain and cognition, and our mood and memory, the short answer is any position that you can get deep, restful sleep in is going to be the best one. Of course, that's not the most satisfying answer, so I also did a deep dive into what the latest and greatest is saying in regard to sleep positions. So here's what I found out. Around 2015, there was a study that looked at CSF flow and recumbent or lying down positions. CSF, for those who don't know, stands for cerebrospinal fluid, and it is the fluid around the brain that carries in the things that the brain needs and carries out the junk that the brain has used up. So the flow of this fluid is really important, especially during sleep. That study showed that the lying down position that had the most open CSF flow was actually side lying. Laying face down was second, and laying face up had actually the least amount of flow. This is pretty surprising when I found this out, just because we've been told for decades that sleeping on our backs is the best position for us. But there's also evidence that sleeping face down doesn't deserve the bad rap it gets either, in that some doctors are proponents of sleeping face down because the rotation of the neck actually to one side or the other helps to build in the neck curvature, since extension is the secondary motion to rotation. Ultimately, what I found is that there are pros and cons to every sleeping position, being as deep sleep is going to be the most important thing, then whatever position that helps you get that is going to be your position. That being said, there is a caveat of neutrality. As a chiropractor, we are always seeking the best ways to keep you to enjoy what you love to do, and also help you to do what you need to do with the least stress to your body. To do that, we need to know the cons to each sleeping position and figure out how to neutralize them. Let's tackle each one. For back sleeping, oftentimes we have a pillow under the head, and that pillow will end up pushing the head forward over the neck and into flexion or bending forward, which closes the airway and puts a strain on our neck and shoulders. We can use a less fluffy pillow that doesn't push our head quite as far forward. We can grab the corners of it and lift at the shoulders to kind of create a little bit of support and allows the chin to come up, so it helps to open the airway. Or what I recommend is to use a rolled hand towel to support the neck, and then that allows the head to come back and tilt up, and then it'll still let the ears stay behind it to be over the shoulder from the side view when you're lying on your back. Third option is to consider just not using a pillow at all. Our hunter-gatherer society buddies do not use that, and they're probably the healthiest version of humans, as we know. So the second thing is side sleeping. Side sleeping can end up twisting the body because oftentimes our upper body wants to twist one way and our hips twist the other way when we're laying on our side. Another thing is that head will want to tilt and bend forward because that fetal position makes us want to be comfortable in that way. To fix this, we can use a pillow between the legs and ankles. That's something I learned during my pregnancy, that you want to have something between the legs and ankles because we want to keep the hips neutral, but also take pressure off of the knee. We can also find a pillow that can fill the gap between your neck and your shoulder so that your head stays neutral, not pushed up or dropped down. And then the last thing is to keep the chin up so that it's not, again, tucked and the back of the neck is relaxed. For stomach sleeping, oftentimes this can overarch the low back. The chest is kind of arching forward. It kind of makes a big backward C shape. So the neck head is also overarched. This can cause neck, arm, or lower back discomforts. And so to fix this, instead of putting the pillow under the head, which would further accentuate that kind of backward C shape, we would put it under the chest with the arms up, and then the arms can be over the pillow. That way it creates some relaxation in this area so that when we rotate our head and with our arms up, this is not tight, tensed, and not overextended. And that can also, the support under the chest can prevent that lower back from overarching as well. How many people go to sleep in one position and then wake up in a completely different one? So the thing that not many people talk about, but everyone knows, is that we move around in our sleep. Some more than others. And so even if you are in perfect sleeping position when you go to bed, there's no guarantee that you're going to stay that way all throughout the whole night and get perfect sleep. There are other factors too, like the mattress firmness and materials, light leaks, screen time, mental stresses, and activity and exercises the rest of our day. And since we can't control what we do when we are unconscious, it's more important what we can do while we're awake. And so part 2 of this discussion will be what we recommend for what to do in the daytime and to take control of that in order to prep for the sleep so that you can get a more ideal sleep outside of just your sleeping position.